Hi everybody, welcome back. We're making another video here for you about financial situations that we think you should be aware of. I'm Tracy, the math specialist here at SSS, and with me again is Joah, who is one of the math tutors and also a peer mentor for It Makes Sense. Joah, do you want to say hi again?
Hello, my name is Joah, and like Tracy said, I'm a tutor and peer financial consultant.
So today we are going to talk about how you take control of your financial future. And what that means is it's important to do your budgeting, which is what we talked about in our last video, so that you stay on track right now in your current financial situation. But we want to also talk about how do you prepare for what's going to come down the line. So in the next 5 years, the next 10 years, how do you make sure you don't go into debt, or how do you get yourself out of debt, or how do you prepare for purchases that you're going to be making? And you may be thinking, well, why is that something I have to worry about now? But doing a little research, I came up with a few pieces of information that might get you a little more interested in it. I found a study that said that 45% of the people that they asked have found that financial matters are the most stressful thing that they have in their life. And 80% of those people said that financial matters have kept them awake at night worrying about what they're going to do, how they're going to pay for bills. So you can see that if that is the most stressful thing in your life, you probably want to have a plan, and you probably want to start early in your life thinking about what that plan is. So we're going to try to hit on 4 important things today to figure out your financial future. And I'm going to let Joah talk about what those are. Go ahead, Joah.
So the single most important thing you could probably do to take control over your financial future is getting your credit card debt situated. So you want to pay off your credit cards in full every single month. Otherwise, they're going to keep accruing interest, and it's just going to keep snowballing and throwing you further into debt. While credit cards are a pretty deep topic, we're probably going to be making another video. So more up on that later. The next thing you can do is start an emergency fund. And essentially what that is money you're setting aside and you're just saving it for a rainy day. So this is the first thing you should save up for once paying off your credit cards, because you never know when something might go south.
Well, and I think a lot of people have seen how important that is within the last year with the pandemic, with the number of people who've lost their jobs, the number of people who've worried about how to pay rent. That's what your emergency fund is for, is something like that.
Yeah, you just never know what's coming in the future. So generally, when you're saving up for an emergency fund, you want to put away at least 3 months worth of expenses into that fund. And if you're living with somebody else or have a dependent, you want to add an extra month of expenses on top of that per person. So another thing you can do to take control of your financial future is start saving up for retirement. Most of us probably don't want to work our entire lives, so retirement is something we have to save up for. And again, this is another pretty deep topic, so another video on this later. And another thing that we can save up for is a home. A home is a pretty big expense, and you need to have a lump sum towards a down payment before you can actually buy a home. So this is something you do need to save up for. Another thing to save up for is trips, because a lot of us have dream trips that we want to go on. And this is not an expense that you can just go on a whim and do. You need to really prepare for this and know how much it's going to cost. Then once you have the money for it, then you can go on the trip, because you do not want that all going on a credit card and throwing you into debt. And finally, you want to save up for college or your kids' college, as Tracy will now expand upon.
Right. I think all of you who are in college right now know how much you would appreciate it if your parents had saved up more money to pay for college for you. And I personally have 2 kids who are in high school. And so my husband and I have spent a lot of time thinking about, well, how are we going to pay for that? And so we're pretty happy that we started probably about 15 years ago saving money for their college education. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to have enough money to pay for it, but we're going to have a lot more than we would if we started now thinking about paying for their college education. Now, going back a little bit, there are two things Joah talked about that we're going to actually make separate videos about. So this video is just a summary of all the things that you want to think about for your financial future. One of them that we said is very important is credit cards. So Joah and I are going to make a separate video just about credit cards. And the thing about credit cards is they can be good and they can be bad. And so we're going to really delve into that a little bit more. The other thing we're going to make a separate video about is retirement. Now, right now, retirement is one of my favorite things to talk about because I'm not that far from retirement. So I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. Joah, do you have any other little tidbits about retirement that we can throw out for them right now, just to give them a little idea of what you need to do to save for retirement?
Start saving now.
That is good advice. The sooner you start, the sooner you'll have enough money to retire. And I think you need to also know that when he says start saving now, you could start saving $10 a month, and that will add up really fast. So this video, there's a lot of information in there, and we want you to remember there's someplace else on campus that you can get a lot more information. Joel, where do you think they could go to get a lot more information about this stuff?
You can go to It Makes Sense and schedule an appointment on our webpage at on UWL website.
Okay, thanks for watching our video, and look for more information to come. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye.
Okay, what'd you think?
I think we're still recording.
I think so too. I can't find the stop.